Do you think your career is stuck? Let's explore the hard lessons that once told me and discover how each one can spark fresh growth. I used to think I'd seen it all in my career, especially after working in the same area for many years. That overconfidence pushed me into a comfort zone. In this video, I'll share those missteps and how they led me to unexpected breakthroughs. I'd spent ages in financial planning, so I fell into this mindset of I already know everything here, there's nothing new to learn. That slow demotivation sapped my curiosity, eventually harming both my performance and the sense of purpose. Only later did I realize the hidden benefits of my role, seeing the big picture of the business and influencing the strategy if I choose to. But I was so stuck on autopilot that I often missed those chances. I needed to reinvent myself. I asked myself, how can I bring a fresh twist into this routine? Where can I add more value that others haven't spotted? This question lit up avenues, and ironically it made me appreciate the job more. I focused much more on my development and used it to enhance the value I bring to my day-to-day work. It presented a tremendous opportunity to learn and put into practice more and more skills I was learning, in particular in leadership and people development. If I could talk to my 5 years ago self, I would say, never assume your domain is fully mastered. There's always another layer to peel back, another strategy to test, another skill to refine. And yet so very often there comes a time in our careers when we think that we know it all, but usually we are just at the very beginning. Have you ever seen the Dunning-Kruger effect graph? It's the best way to show where at the scale of competence we sit at the peak of overconfidence until we are brought back to the ground. We can say that Albert Einstein was pretty competent, right? He once said something that summarizes this point very well. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. Humility grows with confidence, and often you will notice that masters in any skill are either the most humble or are working the hardest to continue improving. Once I chose to see my position with new eyes, I discovered how my broad knowledge actually gave me a unique angle, connecting the dots that other departments missed. I became that person who could propose an innovative measure or highlight a new growth opportunity. These sparks not only boosted morale, but also shifted the monotony into something exciting. Lesson learned: your job can become stale if you treat it that way. Continuous curiosity brings life into any familiar setting. In every company, there are times when the work environment turns sour, or even toxic at times. Negativity, blame games, politics, combined with zero support. It's in those moments that you're bound to notice ever-growing cancer of negative behaviors. People stabbing each other's backs while fighting for survival, gossiping or complaining that is spreading like a viral disease. And unfortunately, it sucks in more and more people, turning it into a ever-growing negative spiral of emotions. Unfortunately, some people have experienced this. Instead of trying to fix it or leave, they would just vent, feeding their frustration and leaving them feeling more powerless each day. That cycle is so toxic. It's easy to complain and stay stuck rather than confront the issues head-on. This can affect your morale, making you hit rock bottom. It may also affect your productivity as well. Eventually, the tension may get too high. Sooner or later, you may come to realization that you either try to improve the culture or plan an exit. If you notice that the culture sucks your mental health out and doing nothing will only make it worse, most have learned that it's vital to assess whether what you are doing aligns with what your priorities are. If it doesn't for a prolonged period of time, you are bound to grow unhappy and burned out. Either way, action trumps endless complaining. For years in my relentless bid to prove myself, I piled on the workload, late nights, weekends, and phone always lit up. I told myself it was for a better future and I'm developing, but I missed everyday moments with loved ones. A wake-up call came when a close person passed away. I couldn't shake the regret of spending so many hours at my desk instead of sharing memories with them. That heartbreak made me rethink my priorities forever. I've realized that no job is more important than the people who you value the most, be it your family, spouse, or whoever it is for you. When you are on your deathbed, you will never regret spending time with your family, but you will not doing so. I understand life isn't merely about promotions or delivering projects 24/7. I've rebuilt my life strategy that gave birth to Phoenix, where I balanced career pursuits with personal relationships. It was my turning point. From then on, I started scheduling more time with family like it were vital meetings, allowing space to breathe and reconnect. What's the difference? Don't see overworking as the badge of honor, but as a trap that robs you of precious life moments. Set a clear life strategy and a plan that over time incorporates all of these areas seamlessly. If you neglect one for a while, it is bound to happen that it will catch up with you in a very painful way. How can you dodge these career mistakes or transform them if you are already in them? First, stay curious in familiar roles. If you've been in the same job for years, don't assume it's fully tapped out. Try new learnings, propose a fresh project, or mentor newcomers. Stagnation is optional. Learn to always reinvent your work, otherwise you might become complacent with where you are. Then manage culture boundaries. If you notice toxic behavior, attempt small positive changes like speaking openly about the issues or forming supportive team chats. Don't engage in the examples of the behaviors I mentioned. And above all, set the boundary. If it doesn't resonate with you, make a change. It's always in your control. Evaluate work-family balance. Review monthly if you're missing major personal milestones. If the answer is yes, refocus your life at least for a moment. Parents, spouses, children, never take them for granted. We have limited time with them during our lifetime. Don't sacrifice it for anything, even if you justify it to yourself as doing it for them. Setting a boundary for personal time can actually boost your mental clarity and the job performance. Embrace evolution. A comfort zone or draining setting can be a signal to shift. Keep re-evaluating your path so you don't stagnate. Reinvention can be uncomfortable, but it's often the best way forward. If you spot yourself in any of these traps, remember you have more power than you think. Make the changes that protect your well-being and push your curiosity and honor your family, because a fulfilling career is never worth sacrificing your essence. Thank you for joining me, and now go build a path that truly serves you.